Good morning, y'all. It's Margo from the Prairie Homestead. I wanted to make a real quick video to show y'all one of the protein shakes that I make, just one of many, to start my day off or just to drink throughout the day to get my extra protein in. This morning it's because I love coffee, and so I'm adding coffee to my drink. And a cold brew coffee protein powder. I'll have a scoop of this, a cup of this unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Me personally, I prefer the unsweetened coconut almond milk, but there's only one store that I can get it, and it's like an hour away, so I don't get to it very often. I am using half a frozen banana. I've already put a couple pieces of ice in the bottom of my cup, and of course I will be using coffee, cold coffee, and a teaspoon of this any flavor, any brand cocoa is fine. Whatever you have works for you. Never think that it has to be a certain brand or that a certain kind. You can use any kind of protein powder, unflavored, vanilla. Switch it up. Give yourself options. So I was going to cut my bananas up into some small pieces and put them all into my cup. I have one of the Ninja blenders, and sorry about that, y'all. It works really well. I've had it for a couple of years, and it is a good blender. I would recommend it. I do not recommend bringing my milk out of the fridge. I just tried to make a mess now. A cup of your almond milk. Almond mess. As you can tell, this is real, straight up. There's no jokes here. No games, and this is about as real as it gets, you know, because everybody, you spill something or something messes up, falls, spills, and you hear my puppy in the background, who's chewing on something that I'm sure he's probably not supposed to. Again, my husband brought home a 2-month-old brindle baby, brindle pit bull, and he is in the chewing phases. So, fun. We're having to move everything all the time, and he loves shoes and slippers in particular. So we use 1 scoop of the protein powder, and I've already put in 1 cup of the almond milk. I'm putting in 1 tablespoon of my cocoa. I have 3 packs of this. I got it from the Dollar General store just right down the street from us. It's a no-calorie sweetener. I got 3 packs of it. Like I said, anything that you have works. You can lose weight by just making a few simple changes. I was literally talking to a nurse yesterday. My daughter had gastric sleeve bypass surgery, and her surgery was the night before last. And when I spoke with the nurse yesterday while she was up walking around, she was talking about, and she's so little, so teeny, but she has severe back problems, and she said the number one thing is that people need to remember to take things one step at a time. One change, one moment Don't try to rush yourself. Don't try to force changes on yourself, because when you do that, you hate your lifestyle. You hate the fact that you're changing where you can't have all these things. I literally have bananas. I have plums. I eat chicken. We have tacos. I have meat tacos. I have chicken tacos. I usually try for a lower calorie bread. But at the moment, I only have some light rye bread. I did pick up a couple of the, what is his name, Joseph's, and these are like pita breads. I made a lunch salad mix with, I had some roast pork the other day. The only thing I do is I weigh out how much I put in it. 3 ounces, 4 ounces. So I can keep myself accountable. That's all you're doing, is keeping yourself accountable. Using a good calculator that lets you know how many calories based on how much exercise you do. Whether you're sitting on your butt all day, not doing nothing, you have a job that keeps you sitting all day, and that's what you're expected to do. Whether you walk around some because that's part of your job, or just because maybe you walk a mile twice a week or 3 times a week, or if you lift weights and you do more, you put those in. Go to the tdecalculator.net, and it will ask you for your age, for your height, for your weight. I know some of them will ask for your the size for right there at your belly, and you don't measure at the biggest part. You actually measure at your waist. Your waist is where, when you bend over, your waist is, right there. So you measure across right there. That's where your waist. A lot of times it might be where your pants are, but a lot of people wear hippie pants. So you don't measure at your hips. You measure at your waist. And it's usually it's right there above your belly button. So that way you're going to measure there. When you measure across here, there will be sometimes when, even for your own personal reasons to keep up with, you might not feel like the scale is going down as much as you'd like it to. But if you measure yourself every week, you might say, hey, I only lost 1 pound, or I only lost 2 pounds. And that's really a good thing, 1 or 2 pounds a week. Any more than that, we all want to lose it, but it's not realistic. And to keep it off. It's just not realistic, because our bodies are made to hold fat. They're made to preserve our bodies. And if we try to cut our calories way, way, way down, our body goes into starvation mode. And it's like, okay, well, we're no longer going to count very many calories for what she's going to be doing, or he's going to be doing every day. Normally you might go through 1,700 calories, and it's surprising on how many calories your body needs. Your BMR is your basic basic metabolite, basic BMR, basic metab. And I just went blank. I should have had notes. It's the bottom line. It's how many calories your body would use if you're in a coma, if you just lay in bed all day. It's the basis of what your body needs. Then your TDEE is what your body needs with what if you get up and do things throughout the day. Whether you don't do anything, but you get up and you eat, and you get up and you fix meals, and you get up and you clean house, you get up and you go outside and garden. That's what your TDEE counts. Then it adds in, if you do any extra exercises, it gives you some extra calories that your body's gonna need. It's that energy that your body's gonna need for that time period. Doing that, then you subtract 500 calories a day from that. If you have 2,200, I think mine is, let's see, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2,200 calories a day is what my TDEE comes up to. So I eat right around between 14 and 1,700 calories. It's really hard if you're eating healthier, trying to eat healthier, to eat a lot of calories unless you're pushing a lot more protein. Every 2 or 3 hours, you are pushing the protein so you have that extra calories coming in. You learn to, and it is a process. You're going to have to learn to what to eat and how to eat, what your body's going to enjoy or not enjoy. Some people may not be able to handle dairy. Some people may not be able to handle meats very well. We don't eat very much red meat. If it's not steak, we don't eat it. Our bodies don't handle it very well. You know, we get very gassy and we get very bloated. That's not something anybody wants to feel. So if you feel like that after eating certain kinds of foods, you should change. If it's like that with Brussels sprouts, change it to green beans or broccoli. Try those. Change it to cabbage or tomatoes or squash. Add those extra vegetables in for fiber. Not just calories, because you can eat a lot of vegetables for a little bit of calories. So if you're doing that, you know, you can eat a lot more and it's going to fill you up. And then you're going to be like, how am I going to get my calories in? Protein. Protein shakes. Make your own homemade protein bars where you use protein powder and oatmeal and peanut butter. I will post some different recipes when I do make them to show you how easy it is to make your own, and instead of having to go out and buy them. Because I know we're on a deficit and so we have good money coming in, but yet it's still hard to keep up with grocery prices. It's still hard to keep up with groceries. So we find new and different ways to eat, but it doesn't have to be so different, so bad, so many changes that it overwhelms you. Me, I like salads. I always have. So having a spinach salad, and I have a garden going right now, and my daughter-in-law does. So we have fresh tomatoes and cucumbers and green peppers. But if you don't have it, eat what you have. If you like a salad, but all you can afford is a bag of the iceberg lettuce, do it. Get you tortilla. Watch the calories that's in it. Watch the fat grams that's in it. Make sure you try to get something that's a little bit lower. There's a lot of them out there. There's even one that the Dollar General sells, at least our local Dollar General sells, that is low carb. Believe it or not. And it's like $1.50 for like 10 or 15 of them. I mean, you can go cheap. Trust me, I know all about buying cheap. But you can still work enough calories in and watch what you're eating enough to be able to lose weight. I weighed myself this morning and I am down to 215. Now that I'm still not as little as my mom. My mom has been doing it longer than me. She has literally went from about, I want to say 240 or 250, and she's down to like somewhere between 208 and 210. When your mom is smaller than you, it makes you say, okay, I need to do something. At least that's how I feel. You know, I also believe in body positivity. If you don't think you need to lose weight, then don't let anybody tell you any different. If you love yourself, and that's the number one thing that anybody needs, because no one can love you if you don't love yourself. You can't show love if you don't love yourself in your life. You have to learn to love where you are and who you are. And then it shines through you to everybody else. I'm learning that myself. I don't love my body, but I love that I'm doing something to help me feel better. Get off medications, to live a better life, live a longer life, to be able to help take care of my husband in the years to come. He has severe back issues, and we're really worried about that. I love him to death. I want to be healthy enough to be able to make sure that I can be here for him, and I don't have to worry about anybody else taking care of him but me. And he does the same thing. He wants to be healthy enough that if anything ever happened to me, he can be healthy enough to help take care of me. It's all about how you feel about yourself, where you're at. So if you want to lose weight, there's a ton of videos that are out here about losing weight, whether it's intermittent fasting, Atkins, keto, low carb, high carb, low calorie. The main thing is that you have to be in a deficit calorie-wise. Why not do it in a way or a manner that it feels good when you're doing it? You start out slow doing exercise. Don't push yourself right off the bat to do 2 miles, 5 miles. Walk what you can. If all you can do is walk down to the end of the block and back, or walk in place for 5 minutes or 10 minutes or 15 minutes, do it. And then get up later in the day and do it again. Get up later in the day and do it again. You're not pushing yourself so hard that it feels like a chore. You're doing it because you're like, well, I was able to do this. I'm going to do it a little bit more because I want to see more progress. You're doing it because you want to, and because it makes you happy, and it's going to help change your life. So if you're doing that, then that's what's going to make you happy. That's what's going to make everything worth it for you. Now I may have filled this up a little bit too much, but I topped it off with some coffee. And I have a blender piece that goes on my cup. Oops, I'm going to spill this when I put it on here. So far, so good. I'm going to throw this on my blender real quick. I'll hold tight, y'all. There we go. All mixed up, all blended. All making a mess. Wouldn't be me if I wasn't making a mess. Yep. Oh my God, it's so good. You can taste a little bit of chocolate well, more chocolate than and coffee flavor. I think that's because of my coffee protein powder. But you also have that hint of banana. And believe it or not, it's sweet. It is really sweet. It is really good. Doing this, half a banana is roughly 50 calories. Then you have the calories that's in your protein shake, and that was 160. That's 210. Cup of the milk is 30, so that's 240, plus the few calories that you might get from your cocoa, your sweetener, and your coffee, black coffee. So you're looking at 250 calories, and you're getting something that's going to fill you up that has high protein, because the protein powder I have is 20 grams. It says my protein in my milk is only 1. That's why I like to get my coconut almond, because it has more protein in it. Maybe it's because of the coconut. I'll have to look that up and get back with you on that. But there's lots of them you can do. I used a half a banana last night. Ice, half a banana. What else did I put in it? It was either a half or 1 cup of fat-free or non-fat, unflavored yogurt. And about, I think it was 3 cups of fresh spinach. And it was green, but it was good. You didn't taste spinach? You tasted a banana smoothie with extra protein in it because of the yogurt. And it was good. It was healthy, and it held me over until I was able to do dinner. I will put a picture of what I fixed for dinner last night. We had basically steamed. I have one of those iron skillets that have the lines on it, and I just cooked it slowly from frozen while I cooked cabbage. And for my cabbage, we just cooked it up. I used nonstick spray, sprayed the pan, cut up a whole head of cabbage. I think I ended up eating 2 or 2.5 cups of cabbage cooked. For mine, we cooked the whole thing with a lot of pepper, but he wanted sugar in his. So I took out a bowl of it, and when I put it on my plate, I took 1 pack of that sweetener I was showing you, sprinkled it over top of it. I got my sweet fix without having all the extra calories from regular sugar or the insulin spike that you get from eating regular sugar. And we took a couple of tomatoes, sliced some fresh tomatoes up, and we had shredded chicken with a little bit of lemon pepper, and I got a new flavoring at Kroger's last night called the Longhorn Steakhouse Grill Seasoning, and I just put a little in my hand. I sprinkled it on it. I didn't do it where there was a whole lot on it because I wanted a little bit of flavor, but I didn't want to overpower the chicken with a lot of salt. We don't eat a lot of salt, but we do like having flavor. We use a lot of onions and garlics in our meals, and last night we just didn't make it to that point. So I hope you enjoyed the smoothie, the information, the little chat, and I will get back with you soon. Oh, and by the way, my daughter is doing very well. She came home yesterday from her surgery. She was feeling very nauseous, but she said, and gassy, but that's from where they have to actually literally pump your stomach up when they're doing it so they can see in there when they're doing everything. And She was looking good. She was walking in the hospital yesterday and then came home. And other than some nausea and gas, she said she's feeling pretty good. She found out she's going to have to be on a liquid diet, though, a clear liquid diet. That's what they call it. You can have Jell-O and soups and popsicles and stuff like that, sugar-free popsicles, broth and stuff like that for 4 weeks. And then after that, it'll be pureed foods for a while, a month or two. And then after that, then she'll be able to start incorporating foods, but she'll still have to like chew her foods for 32s, I think they said, and not drink for 30 minutes before she eats, so that way she's literally able to get the nutrition she needs. And part of the liquid diet is the protein shakes, because she has, I think they said 64 grams of protein she needs a day. So keep her in your thoughts and prayers if you pray, or just in your thoughts. Happy thoughts, good vibes, if that's your thing. For a continued healthy recovery, and that her dreams come true also, and do really well from having this surgery. I am going to incorporate more exercise into mine, and I know she's incorporating a whole lot more into hers. And we will see you again sometime soon. I will give you more ideas on foods I fix and keep you updated on my weight loss. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. And I love y'all. Much love from our home to yours. Bye for now.